welcome to LOL Jack's Artist Corner. We are Zooming because we are still quarantined, and we have a very special guest for our quarantine edition, Mal Jones, and he is the first Jacksonville Cultural Ambassador of the Arts, as well as a documentarian and a hip hop educator, among many, many, many other titles that we're going to get into. And actually, that'll bring us to our first question. So I don't miss any of what you do. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jamal Jones, but I've been titled Mal Jones by my little nieces and nephews. And growing up and rapping and being an artist, they cut that off and everybody called me Mal Jones. That's my name. What I do, I'm basically an artist, a documentarian. I like to capture moments and freeze them because I've always known I wanted to revisit them again. Like it's just like that. So doing that over the years, multiple years in Jacksonville, getting a lot of footage of the arts, people rapping, that has caused me to like be a documentarian of sorts. So I just documented Duval hip hop and the arts in Jacksonville for about over 25, 30 years. And I've been involved in a lot of the culture and the arts in Jacksonville, whether it's visual arts, film, education. I have educational programming that I've implemented in Duval County Public Schools, as well as Tallahassee, statewide, really. And I am a recording artist. I'm a rapper. So
Nice.
that's number one. That's what I've always been. So. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So now I would like you to speak a little bit about, a project that you completed that you are the most excited about, because you do so much for just Jacksonville in general. So what's the project that had you the most excited?
You mean in my past, in my whole past?
You tell me, wherever you want to go. I'm going with you today.
I would just say traveling to Bristol, England is Jacksonville's first cultural ambassador of the arts. I like being a diplomat for my city as a representative of the arts was like big for me, because my uncle Ali Abdullah was the first cultural ambassador to Africa from Detroit, like 30, 40 years ago. So it was like a family. Our arts is already in our family. It's a family tradition, but it was just me carrying on a family tradition. And my father was the one who educated me on who Shakespeare was, how it was important for literary artists, even as a young kid. And then me writing a poem that educated people on Shakespeare and who he was, enabled me to travel from Jacksonville to Bristol, England, as Jacksonville's first cultural ambassador for the 400-year anniversary of Shakespeare. So that was all with rap and just the literary arts. And I was excited about like traveling cross seas and representing my town, I think that really excited me because it had family implications. It was like a family tradition, and I was doing something that was the first time anybody in Jacksonville ever did it, but it was part of my family tradition.
You already knew about it. Yeah.
So it would just happen that way. I didn't plan it. I didn't call the cultural council and say, hey, I want to be your first cultural ambassador of the arts. They called me, and we had this plan for this program. So that was fun. It was really exciting. I did a lot over there, and I had a lot of interesting, fun projects, but that probably had to be the one that I was most hyped about. And did a lot with that project.
Got it. Now let me ask you, before we go into my next question, you got my mind thinking. So one, how old were you when you wrote your first lyric? How old were you? Do you remember? I'm putting you on the spot, but
I was probably about, I'd say 6, because my father was already a literary artist. He had published books that were already out, published books. When I grew up reading my father's published books,
nice.
so it was like that's what inspired me to do the same thing, and I wanted to do the same thing. So it was he always taught me about writing ever since I could remember. So I'd say about 5 or 6, I wrote my first little fake wannabe poem.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. And then the other
Mhm.
question is, so when you traveled over there, did you find a lot of similarities to what you grew up with? Like when you interacted with the people and the culture over there and just seeing the sights, did you find a lot more in common? Or did you see a lot of things that were different? And you know what I mean? Does that make sense what I'm asking you?
Yeah, it was very, very common as far as the people and the culture goes, because there was people there that understood my culture, the language I spoke, the things I liked, the rappers I liked. These people still existed over there, but um, when I went over there for my first day, I did a cipher over there. The first day I got there, and we had people come get in the cipher rap. There were young kids coming up and getting the cipher, and this was at Bristol's welcoming center, like their welcoming center for all their tourists. So we were out there rapping with a cipher, and cats was like excited, just like they are at the Jacksonville Art Walk, and came up and rapped. And I did a show that same night there, and it was well received. So it was fun there. It was fun. It was fun. There's a lot of stuff to do there, and it was surprisingly familiar, except for the beans and there was no litter. I
Mm.
couldn't find a piece of trash anywhere on the ground. Me and Overstreet were like
Yeah, we gotta
having
work that.
trash bets. First one to find a piece of trash blowing in the wind wins. I mean, that was about the only difference. But otherwise, the people are opening. I had family over there, and it was cool.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so going back over the pond in Jacksonville. So you're not originally from here, right? You're
No,
from up north, right? New Jersey?
yes, I'm
Okay, so
from.
you're from New Jersey.
I grew
What
up in New Jersey, but I was born in the Bronx, New York.
got it. Okay, okay. So true northerner.
Mm-hmm.
What brought you to Jacksonville? And then like when you're doing your arts, why is it important to incorporate Jacksonville into your arts and the work
Um,
you do?
my mother was from New Orleans. My father's from Charleston, South Carolina. So my family's from the South.
Mhm.
I just happened to be born up north. And when my father passed away, my mother wanted to move back to the South. And my brother was already living down here. So she packed up our stuff and left, I think it was 85,
Mhm.
86, and moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I went to school down there and lived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida years before I came. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 7 years before I moved to Jacksonville. I lived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Beautiful area. I got people in Pompano.
Yeah, all right,
I know.
Pompano. Mm-hmm. South Pache.
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh. And the reason why Jacksonville is like, I've lived in a lot of places and I've been a lot of places, and I can call a lot of places home where I know the people there. I know the neighborhood in Jersey. I can go there and people know me. I can go to New York, people know me. But Jacksonville is where I came into my own. I knew about these places. I had lived there and I had family and interaction with people there. But Jacksonville is where I came into my own. Is where I was most active in my community, in this community of Duval, doing what I do with the arts. So, you know what I'm saying? Big up Jacksonville, Duval.
Yeah, man. 904.
Mm-hmm.
So let me
I
ask
claim
you
it.
a question. Let me ask you a question. And you know, it's so funny because I'm that way too. I'm like a military brat, so up and down the East Coast. But
Mm-hmm.
something about Jacksonville, because like you said, that claiming anywhere you really could, but
Right.
there's something special about Jacksonville. So I'm glad you can see that because you know
Right.
you apparently lived in some cool places. Because listen, I know you can't really see behind me, but it's Louis Armstrong. And it's a
Okay.
big mural from New Orleans. It's hard to see on
Yeah, that's a Mardi Gras
and
mural.
the beads and
That's a
stuff.
Mardi.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love New Orleans, a cool city, but there is something really special about Jacksonville. So
Yeah.
it's good to see that you could have been anywhere. You could have brought your talent and knowledge anywhere. So we're very grateful to have you in Jacksonville. That's one.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now let's shift gears real quick. And so, okay, so to the man that never ages, like I swear you just I don't ever tell your age because you don't look, you look 20 something years old. But, you know, to the younger you,
Thank you.
you know, when you first knew you wanted to be an artist and you knew this is what your passion was to just kind of tell your story and create, and then the person you are now, what would you tell that person from the perspective you have right now as an artist? Like, what advice would you give to them?
Before you have long conversations, see how much work has already been put in on their end. If you're a hard worker, see how much work it is. A lot of people that want to work with you and want to come do things, but it's kind of they want to work with your energy and don't really know all that you put into what you're doing. Like, you know, some people just want to do something, but you might have a purpose. Like, you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when you're doing something to just be seen or get your numbers up on Facebook or whatever, it's different from saying, okay, my great grandfather did this and my uncles did this, and this is not a game. I want to really be precise and strategic and intentional about everything I'm doing. So that's why you know, I instill that. Even I tell this generation the same thing I would want to hear. I help them out. I give them pointers. Not only that, I put them on with no bureaucracy. Like, if you want to rap and I see your passion, you don't have to sign any lists. You don't have to fill out no paperwork with me. Nothing. Just come and rap, and I'm gonna make sure you got a spot to shine. And most of them, once they do that, they're projecting themselves. Like, there's a lot of artists in Jacksonville who their first time ever performing was at the Lyricist Live, you know, and now they're like, you wouldn't know because they don't big up the Lyricist Live no more. But you know what I'm saying? That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? As long as you did your job, help people,
Sure.
keep your heart protected, and you know, it's all good, you know. So like that's my thing. That's always been my thing. Putting the next person on, making it easier for the person. So I gotta, I could to tell a person that came before me something that wasn't that couldn't help them isn't even, you know, it's not feasible for me to do. So I'm gonna like give you tools and tell you information. I'm not gonna just tell you you should do this, because a lot of times I went through that phase where, you know, you make something happen and you get people excited, and then everybody has these suggestions for you that, hey, you should do this, but you got to where you're at doing what you know.
Right. Being
Like, and then when you get there, finally, it's like, oh, somebody's like, hey, well, you should know, you should just do this, and then you should try this, and you know, the main thing is believing in yourself
Mhm.
and carrying out what you wanted to do. It's not all about listening to someone unless they have the tools for you or give you the advice. I believe in most people. If they want to do something and they're passionate about it, that's really all I need to believe in them. So,
Yeah.
I'm not going to suggest they do this or do that unless they say, hey, what do you think I should do about this? But if they don't never ask me that, I'm not going to just tell them, because they're on their path and their trajectory,
Right.
what they should be doing. If they ask me, then I'm gonna let them have it. But I believe in most people to do what they plan on doing or what they dream to do, because you never know yourself how that's gonna work out for them.
Mhm.
It could work out perfect for them and sound totally like ridiculous their plan, and it end up working out perfect for them when you were the one saying they should have did it this way or they should have did it that way. No, just believe in them. That's all they need. I promise you. All they need is for you to believe in them, and they're gonna figure out doing what they want to do.
Yeah. I love that. Like turning your art into a purpose is what it sounds like you're doing. And then I remember when I was a kid, and just hearing like that lift while you climb kind of a mentality. And I heard it again too when I was at a church camp with my teen babies. And that's true. It sounds like exactly what you're saying, like the best advice, you know what I mean? Like help others lift. And then,
Yeah,
the climb is beautiful because it's a purposeful climb
yeah,
instead of it being about. So I really appreciate you saying that. And appreciation to you, just like, you know, what you do, giving a purpose and what you do with touching so many lives, you are making people believe in themselves. You know what I'm saying? You're letting them know that what they have to say is important. And sometimes a part of starting out is just having, like you said, that confidence in yourself.
that's all it is.
Yeah. And sometimes that's all, yeah, exactly. That's all they need. They got the tools, they got the talent. You can just kind of get out their way, but just kind of,
Right.
give them that love and letting them know it's okay. Cause sometimes, being an artist isn't the cool thing, or sometimes being an artist isn't
Yeah.
what most people want for them, but there's a
Right.
purpose for it. And creativity is vital in
Yeah.
the world. It makes it go round.
Most people are telling them they can't do it. So if you're the one person there, while everybody's telling them you can't do it, in their head they're singing, but Mark Jones said I can do it. Let me
Hmm.
try to do this. But you can be that one factor that makes them decide to keep pushing. So just give them that. Just
Hmm.
give them that one. That you be that one person that didn't shit on them, you know,
Exactly.
and see where that gets them.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the talent will be, and they'll grow and be better for it, but just
right,
that confidence, just to just give them the light, the spark to go. So
right.
much
That's
appreciation
everything.
to you. Yeah, much appreciation to what you do. So, okay, so to all the people out there listening that, have a passion, want to do something, what pro advice were you given that you might can inspire somebody else with?
Um, I kind of said it earlier, but
That's all right. Repeat it. Rewind.
um,
You do it.
it's it's not it's not bad to take your own advice. Like, it's not bad. Like, sometimes you have to have these points in your career where you trust yourself no matter what.
Sure.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just trust yourself. Just trust that you've worked hard enough, because if you haven't, you'll feel it inside. It'll tell you something to tell you. But if you have worked hard and you've fought hard and you put those hours in, that I mean, that right there can push you right to where you need to be. Um, and that's what I mean. That's what I tell everything to everybody. Just trust yourself. Don't make stupid decisions. You might make
Sure.
some, but still trust yourself
Learn from them. Yeah.
because you might be on to something.
Sure.
You know, you might be on to something. There's everybody who's on to something when at least once somebody told them, "What the hell is that?" Like, yeah, I mean, everybody that I can think of that is successful, I've read that story where nobody believed in them. So that I just play the role of being the believer in you. Get on this mic. You might not can rap that good, but hey,
You
try
might
to rap.
fall, but do it again.
Try to rap good. Try, and they come out next month. They'll be better. They get better. But I'm out there for years, so I helped you for years with confidence. That's all most artists need. I know that being a fellow artist, that's all most artists need. Somebody be like, "Oh, that's dope, yo, keep doing." You know what I'm saying?
So you're like the hype man of Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'll hype you right up. All the kids, I'll hype them right up in front of their parents. When their parents don't like them rapping all day, and they bring them down to the cypher, and I'll be like, "Oh my God, ah!" Yeah, your parents saw that, you know.
Yeah. So what do the parents think? Just in bringing in that. So for the parents that don't believe, what do they feel after they see you hyping them up and seeing their babies? Does it change anything, or does at least obviously changes the child's perspective, but does it change the parents? Have you seen a change in being that believer for their kids?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen parents just give me their kid after a while. They're like, "Yo, it's something you're doing works. Just spend time with them."
Yeah.
And I actually do it. So a friend of mine, Amari Morrell, he's 16 now, but he started coming to the Art Walk when he was 10. And he started coming out to the Art Walk rapping with his little sister. Now she's rapping at the Art Walk, but his mom brought him out, said he loves rap. Can you coach him? Mm-hmm. I started my first state-funded program with him. Mm. So the first time the state of Florida ever funded a hip-hop program, it was a part of the program that this kid's mom assigned him up for. So his mom assigned him up for my program, the freestyle folk art program, and he completed the program. The state paid both of us. They paid him for learning from me a new Florida folk art form, which is freestyle rap, which had never been documented as a folk art form before. So her son now made history. He made history. He's the first. He's the first state-funded apprentice at 10 years old to rap. They got paid by the state to rap at 10 years old, to learn rap, you know. And that was the first time it's ever happened. So I've seen, and, you know, his parents, that was his summer job. Learning rapping was his summer job where he got paid to learn the rap. And that's, you know, that's unheard of. His mother wasn't thinking of that when he was having his music turned up, staying up, writing rhymes and stuff. So
right.
It's really dope.
That's really awesome. Dope. Wow. Like I could pick your brain for hours because I know you got a bunch of stories, and I know I want to pull one more before I just ask people to, you know, here's where to find you. Real quick, TED Talk. How awesome was that?
That was, oh my God. You asked me about the moments in my life and I forget about when I was on TED Talks.
She's like,
damn. That's a good life. I'm grateful.
You are very blessed, my sir. Yes, you are.
I'm grateful. TED Talk was amazing. It was a dream come true. I've been preparing for it for so long, but you can't ask Ted to do a talk. They have to ask you to do a talk.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got asked, I knew I was on the right path of doing what I wanted to do in the speaking field. I believed in myself, but I apparently was a good enough speaker for Ted to ask me to do a talk in Jacksonville for Jacksonville stage. So that was amazing. I had to, it was a lot of rigorous work. Like me, it's almost like 10 minutes straight of reciting rhymes, one rhyme. It's like 10 minutes long. So it's like just memorizing that and actually doing it, completing it, and seeing it through. Like, that was my dream. Like walking off TED stage with an applause after I did TED. It was like, after I did that, it was like, okay, that's another one I can say. I did TED, and then I prepared for my 18-minute talk. So I'm waiting on Ted to call me back.
That's all right. He's gonna call.
I got a whole nother stint for them. I got a whole nother thing for them.
That's what's up. So okay, so where can the people find you? Do you have any upcoming projects? I mean, people should know you and probably mostly do, but for like the 5 people left in Jacksonville who don't know, put them on and tell us.
Don't nobody know. I don't get no likes or nothing. I don't know what's going on. But you said what's the question you asked me?
So okay, one, where can people find you, and do you have any events coming up? Yeah.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, Malls Mind, MALSMIND. You can find me on Facebook, Mal Jones, Twitter, Malls Mind, my YouTube, to watch my video content, which I've been compiling for years in Jacksonville. Before there was a lot of things going on in Jacksonville, you can actually see the geography change in my videos. Jacksonville's geography change in my videos. It's amazing. Mal Jones Presents. You can find me there. I do have new projects coming out. I just completed a new project you can look up for the Museum of Contemporary Art called Say Their Name. It's about the social injustices going on now, and that's with Mocha. So you can go to Mocha's page and just search Mal Jones, find that. I am currently working on another project with Players by the Sea. That hasn't come out yet, but that will be coming out soon. I have an overseas project with Frilla from Bristol. When I went to Bristol, England, I met a rapper over there named Frilla, and we're documenting this whole COVID thing through rhyme. So that'll be coming out soon. I'm just trying to stay busy.
Yeah.
I got a few projects tucked under the belt, and I'm relaxing. I'm definitely relaxing.
Right? That's what's up. Well,
I say relaxing. I can say relaxing.
I think that's the secret to life. Just stay busy, but relax at the same time, and just enjoy it. You take the time to enjoy. So I appreciate you.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you for coming out. Follow him. He's so awesome and has brought so much light to Jacksonville. So don't sleep on him. And we are out.
And thank you. Hold up.
We are back. No, go ahead.
Mal Jones has to say thank you to LOL Jax Film Festival for doing what you do for artists in Jacksonville, for what you're doing for film in Jacksonville. I appreciate it and see it all. I think we need more of it. What is the movie series that we did, that we filmed and that we shot, and we didn't shoot it. We played it at the planetarium.
Yeah.
That was the 45-minute film festival.
48-hour film festival.
48. Yes, I'm trying to be a part of the next one. I got all the free. I really want to do the next one because I have where I live in Springfield. I'll see a couple of great locations. but we'll talk about that. Just keep up on the next LOL Jax Film Festival.
Thank you. Thank
Definitely.
you. Thank you. This ain't supposed to be about us today, but I appreciate the love, kind sir. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Always.
Well, thank you again. And just keep
Thank
being.
you so much.
Yeah, for real, for real.
All right.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful evening. And you guys, thank you for watching the show. And we are